Good evening, I'm Mike Gousha, and this is Sunday Night.
Hey folks, John Madden here.
He's best known for his John Madden impression, but comedian and Waukesha native Frank Caliendo can do a whole lot more. From De Niro to Leno, even Ted Koppel.
And that's our story for tonight.
That bit was from the Fox late night show MadTV, but lately Caliendo's career has really taken off. The Waukesha native has become a regular on Fox NFL Sunday, while still drawing sellout crowds at comedy clubs around the country. This recent appearance at Giggles in Germantown. Tonight, new success and new pressures for the hometown kid. Frank Caliendo joins us next on Sunday Night. And welcome again to Sunday Night. I'm Mike Gousha, and our guest tonight is the comedian Frank Caliendo. It's great to see you again.
I always like to start out with
Are you seeing my eye? I'm doing something with my eye, Goose.
Even before we begin, you're working me over.
I got it.
Working me over. Congratulations for those folks who've been living in a cave for a while. They obviously, probably by now, have heard that you're doing a lot of work for Fox NFL Sunday. And
yeah, and it's been fun. It's interesting. The difference between about, what is it, 10, 12 hours. Here's a guy who should have done the math ahead of time. Between Saturday night, what you can do, and on Sunday morning is an amazing difference of how people's perception of what funny is, what over the top is. I mean, it's very different.
So are you telling me you have a lot of guys out there in suits who are telling you what you can and cannot do on the Sunday morning football show?
Yes, that and everybody in on Earth has
an opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on my website I get things like, "Why'd you do this? Why are you emailing me? I don't know. We're just trying to do stuff that it's weird because you're trying to find stuff. The first few weeks we didn't do as much football stuff. We're doing kind of throwing football, peppering football in to things I did best, some of the impressions I do best. And I don't think that worked as well as what we're doing now, which is taking football issues and trying to take football impressions, which I might not do quite as well, but it's more in the vein of what the guys like Terry, Howie, and JB, and Jimmy Johnson, what they're looking for. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the reaction from them is important to how it plays and how people think it plays. A lot of people think Terry Bradshaw hates me.
But he hated Jimmy Kimmel. Isn't that part of the shtick?
It's kind of what it is. The thing about the Bradshaw thing is, as you know, what was the saying? They said a long time ago, back when he was playing, like in the 20s, they said that was a joke. Right?
I got it.
If I could only do that well on the NFL, Fox NFL. But when they would say you could spot him the A and the T, and he still couldn't spell cat. So, but what Jimmy and he had this amazing rapport where they could just, they built it up to where they would just fight, and one guy would throw a big. Something ridiculous at the other guy, and then they'd throw it back. Well, with me, I throw these little jabs at him, and he's throwing knockout punches.
I want to look good for Terry. Do I have any lipstick on my tooth? You look beautiful. Terry, you are a lucky man.
The best ones we've done so far, like we did Jim Rome a couple weeks ago, and
great.
I didn't. What a phenomenal idea. And it got great feedback, the best feedback of the year so far since the first one we did, but I didn't knock Terry at all. And then the thing was, we came back and Terry's like, "Oh, that is hilarious, down 10, 29, 40. So
I was going to ask you if you do, Bradshaw.
That's as much as it is. It's
really?
Like, yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on all the guys because I think that'd be fun. But yeah, it'd be great to come out there, the bald cap. And,
when they introduced you on the show, the very first, I think it was the first regular season game, and they did the big build-up, and they went to your house and all that, and they introduced you.
My house, which was a dumpster.
Right, exactly. It was kind of a cute little idea.
I liked it. I was cool with it.
Yeah, but you did right out of the blocks, you did Madden. And I got to ask you about that because, I mean, this is a guy who worked doing games for Fox for a number of years. Now he's with ABC, obviously. Is there any sensitivity about that, or do they say, Frank, go ahead and do it?
That was the network's idea. So I wanted to hold off on Madden for a while, just because I want to show people that I could do other stuff than that. But they wanted to do that because that's how people knew me, because I'd done it while I was there. Now, later I went over the top with it. It's funny because, again, kids who watch me do Madden, I was eating chicken in the Philadelphia Eagles locker room. and I'm just eating it, and I'm talking, and there's chickens flying out of my mouth. Now, on MadTV, nobody would care, but I did it on, you know, on Sunday morning, and all of a sudden it's like the New York Times writes up, Fox biting the hand that fed them. So, you know, it gets this big article and stuff like that in the New York Times, a column by a respected guy, Richard Sandomir. But it's funny. Here's a guy who can name drop at any point in case Sandomir sees this. Dude does more than Madden. Just wait. But you know, it's amazing how closely it's watched, and it's you know, it's funny because there are people in the media who hated Kimmel for like 2 years, and then you know, it takes time, and I'm not quite me on that show yet either. You know, I'm behind. We call it the fake bar now because we've always wanted to call it the fake bar, but it's a, you know, it's a bright light. You know, I've never walked into a bar where there's light shining right into your face and 4 cameras.
It's a funny place for you to be anyhow, since you don't drink and you're, you know.
Yeah, it was a weird thing, but it seemed like that, you know, it's a sportsy kind of thing, and I actually wanted to address that. What you do is you run out of time. There's never, you know, 2 minutes. We always start out, by the time we get to the show, I get there with a script. And it's probably 3 to 4 minutes worth of stuff, and I'm always like, why don't we just do a minute and a half and make that longer? Right. That would be easier to act out and have fun with, but instead I end up starting to have to read like twice as fast as, you know, it's like, yeah.
So it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun, but it's you know, it's tough when every time that you're doing this, there's so many eyes looking at you.
They're waiting for you.
Yeah, every week, you know, part of being at Fox is you have to push the envelope, and you're going to go over the line. You're not going to just, you know, you're going to mail the envelope basically. You know, no return address.
Speaking of sap, check out who's defending Warren Sapp.
Greetings, my friends, and when I say friends, I mean you guys. Oh, my lovely little pill.
But for that time period, it's very different. I've heard, you know, I heard stories about JB, James Brown, saying to Jimmy Kimmel, like, Jimmy, I got to go to church in the morning. What are you doing?
Doing to me.
Yeah. So it's that and stuff like that, and like I said, making fun of the guys. And the first one where I did the Mad one at the dumpster, which was my house, Howie and Terry and Jimmy Johnson, man, those guys, they were just pushing me around. It was a lot of fun, you know. But and Howie kept grabbing my cheek and going, "You cutie," and it was just like, oh my goodness, this is terrible. Where's the banjo? I mean, that man, he doesn't understand how big he is. I mean, it's like, you ever have a big dog or been around a big dog that thinks it's a little puppy, and they just jump all over you and lick your face, and you're just like, ah! I have dreams about that. But, I mean, that's kind of, you know, it's just like how he comes up to you, it's like, hey, I'll put you back down. There you go.
Frank Caliendo is our guest tonight on Sunday night. MadTV, Fox NFL Sunday. We'll continue talking with him in just a moment. And Frank Caliendo, can we thank you? This is what I'm dealing with on this side of the camera.
Got the other eye now.
That's what's looking at me, as I'm trying to be the consummate professional here.
My wife is right there just looking at me like,
she give you the thumbs up for that? Or?
Wow, that was terrible. That was horrific. Francis.
How can you still find time to do stand-up, given MadTV, given the football show, and yet you're back in town? That's why you're here. Yeah,
well, my brother's birthday this weekend, so that's why I'm in town. So just was doing that, and I want money. Who am I kidding?
Here's a guy who's got 2 paychecks from Fox, and it feels like he's not making anything.
It's amazing because the NFL thing is really an exposure thing. In MadTV, I still don't understand what that job is. But it's
a paycheck.
Yeah, it's not like my friend calls me the Bob Saget of Fox because of the 2 TV shows. But I think Saget was making so much. Here's a guy who's in blah, blah, blah. I'm sure there's people at home going, I work at a steel mill 75 hours a day. Shut your trap, chunky.
You're not so chunky.
I'm a little bit less chunky. I've been doing Atkins now for like 2 hours.
You said you lost 25 pounds?
25 pounds, yeah. I was doing it 4 hours ago, but then I saw some bread. My parent-in-laws, is that what you say? I don't know.
Something like that.
What is it really? I don't even know. Parent-in-laws?
Just
in-laws? Yeah, nobody says the parent. You say son-in-law, brother-in-law. What's the deal with that? It's parent-in-laws. Why don't you say it? He'll say it if he wants to. Apparently, Frank's starting to entertain again instead of just talking. He should do the interview with Gousha because he forgot what the question was. Dude is ridiculous. He does not know what's going on. This is terrible.
Here's a guy who's not sure if you know Jim Roman, but if you do know Jim Roman, I mean, that is hilarious.
Dude, I don't know who I was going to do there. I was going to do something. Dear sweet heaven, go Farley. All right.
The Jim Rome thing went over big.
That was the best one so far. That we did the segment from beginning to end. Was very happy with. We did a thing with the Violator, which is it's funny. It's this big guy who's a Raiders fan who dresses up with everything, and he has. It's funny. He's got cards. He does children's parties and stuff like that.
It's a whole career.
Who do we have, Daddy? The Violator. Yay! And the Raiders hate me now. I got a call from the guys.
Why is that?
They said because we did that. We did.
Yeah.
The guy playing Al Davis we did was 100 years old and 3 months.
That's true.
And it was it was unbelievable because, that's what it's.
But
the
it's
extremes.
comedy.
Yeah, it's the extremes.
Why are people so thin-skinned about that? Isn't that interesting? I think in our culture today, we are incredibly thin-skinned about everything.
Well, and sports, especially the egos, are just, it's ridiculous. It's because people are built on, especially in sports, how cool they are, how tough they are, and stuff like that. Now, I mean, the same thing, it happens everywhere, Like, I can say a lot of different things on the radio, on TV, whatever, that I can say about Bush now that I couldn't say, a few months ago. It's amazing how that changes. And that's right, America. Don't forget. Say the end. But, I went to Iraqistan, and we kicked his butt.
Now, on the last show, you made it clear that you're okay. You're not a Bush basher. You're not one of these.
Here's a guy saving me right now, too, in case.
You're not one of the Hollywood celebrity types
No,
who's pontificating on the world we live in today.
Yeah, I mean...
You do comedy.
Yeah, and the truth of the matter is, some people, it's not... People will blame President Bush. There's a lot of people making decisions. He might have the final word, but there's always, it's like, Schwarzenegger being the governor of California. And I do think...
You do him?
Yeah, I do think...
Here's a guy who had a segue.
And I interrupted. Sorry.
No, it's good. I just think you should, to be governor of a state, you should know how to pronounce it correctly. California. It's not Cali. It sounded like he had a dog call him, California, what you're doing, taxes are going down. But, they can say whatever they want about Schwarzenegger, but the truth is, he'll be making final decisions, but there's going to be 30, 40 billion people. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, maybe 20 billion. But there's going to be a lot of people giving him, advice and stuff, and they're going to research, because not one person can never do all that. Right. I mean, if you think that the president of the United States is making all his decisions just on on a whim, you're crazy. It just doesn't happen that way. Yeah,
it takes a lot of people.
Yeah, you couldn't do it, but it's like doing Fox NFL Sunday. It
takes a lot of people.
Takes a lot of people. Where's the camera that's on? There it is. There it is. Okay.
Who else are you working on? You've added Schwarzenegger to the repertoire. What else are you doing these days?
The Rush Limbaugh thing. I mean, there's greetings, my friends, please. Which is it's funny because it's just a higher version of Marv Albert. Marv Albert.
You do Marv too.
On the inside, yes, for the Lakers. Then you bring it up, and it is greetings, friends, megadittos.
Rush is there. So.
So Rush has been in the news. You add him.
Sometimes you just have to do what they say. Can you do this? And I'm like, not right now, but I guess I can try by Wednesday when we shoot it. That's really what it is. And
do they ever come to you, Frank, and say, "Yeah, nice try on that, but we don't think you have it"? Or do you know that?
I know before they do. Sometimes it's just selling on the bit how funny it is. It'll beat it like anything, like MadTV, Saturday Night Live. If you find something that's funny with it, it'll carry you over. Like Dana Carvey did not do great exact impressions.
No, his Bush impersonation really wasn't that close.
Right, but everybody started doing him doing it, and that's what you thought that he sounded like. So if you can get, especially if you watch early Dana Carvey to later Dana, it's a completely different voice. It's a completely different style of doing it and everything. So I think that, and for me too, the Jim Rome that I started is so much further along now than it was even a couple months ago, where people are going, that's better than your Madden, or that's as good as your Madden, stuff like that. So it's like that. Even Bush, people like in my act, Bush has taken over because it's just I've taken over his act, and I have another joke there, but I could see by Gousha's last look, that's not the right way to go.
That's it. preparing for a break. That's what I was
There's
doing
going
there.
to be lots of breaks in here.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back on Sunday Night in just a moment.
Everything is rough.
Comedian Frank Caliendo. I wanted to ask you about
Both of them. Good.
Both of them. Good. Wide open
Sorry.
there. I wanted to ask you about trying to put new people into your act. And, you know, you do Al Pacino, you do Nicholson, and you do a lot of very famous actors. But the actors of today, the people who are out there in the big movies, the Jack Blacks, the Luke Wilsons, to me, some of these people, can you do them, or are they hard to do? Or I mean, Keanu Reeves, you do a good Keanu.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I'm wondering about the new breed. Are they harder to do?
I'll tell you why I think they are harder to do. Because I haven't been able to do a Jack Black yet, which would be perfect for me.
Yeah.
But maybe at the same time harmful, because if I started doing a Jack Black and it was kind of me, then people would think, he's just doing Jack
Black, right?
That's already been done.
Yeah.
So it's one of those weird things where you don't want to, personally, thinking of business-wise, maybe I don't want to do that, because then if I'm doing that stuff, you know, they're going to be like,
though,
yeah,
actually.
it's not hard. Jack Black, you just look like you're trying to be, you know, stupid. That's basically it. You know, great. He doesn't see this, so I'll never get 2 lines in one of his movies. I always get like his scripts, like if he turns down a script and then 4 other chubby guys turn it down.
They come to you?
They come to me, and I'm like, no, I'll pass. I don't need that, right? But here's my theory on that. That actors, it used to be that actors, you had a lot older actors that would be famous, like a Jimmy Stewart and stuff like that. They would evolve, and they would have character. But it's sometimes like a Pacino, even they'd evolve to the point where they were a little bit of caricatures of themselves, but they were always playing the same kind of thing. Nowadays, it's 18-year-old guys, and
It's sort of the flavor of the month right now.
It is, and it's even tougher for women, because that's why you don't see as many female impressionists. It's tough for women in this business, and older, as a guy, they think you're done sometimes around 35, 40, something like that. Women, it's like you could be 17, and they're like you're too old now. But think about that. If your character doesn't, if you don't really, like a Katharine Hepburn or something like that, if you don't get that kind of voice until you're that much older, if they're weeding out everybody earlier, then there's no chance for any actress to get to that point. Yeah. And here's a guy who's getting really
that's heavy.
Starting to think about this stuff. Whoa, it is totally heavy. Let's get back to me. But I really think that's what it is. I mean, it's hard to do it. Like everybody can do Cher, but she's been around forever.
Do you do Cher?
No.
Do you do female impersonations?
No.
I mean, that you want to talk about? Or
do I do it on purpose? Do you mean? Honey, she's my wife is that your desk over there?
Yeah, that's where we sit.
She's looking. There's a TV in the desk, and she's just like, this is the greatest thing on earth. Can I get one of these? And now she's waving at me. But it's one finger. Okay. I got a laugh out of her. That is the first. I met her at the Cleveland.
You told me
Improv,
about this, and she's not like just.
She didn't laugh at her.
Ah, you are hilarious.
That's
what you like?
She was like, oh.
Let's take a break. We'll talk about it. You got married since the last time we saw you. We'll talk about that. Back on Sunday Night with Frank Caliendo in a moment. Night with Frank Caliendo has been a quick show. But
yeah, very fast. You're very entertaining, Goosh. Thank you.
I'm sure that's what the viewers are hoping for in the show where you're the guest. Oh, let's hear more from Mike. I don't think that's what they're asking for.
You have no idea how often that happens,
You got married. I got to ask you about that, because before last time we talked to you, you were preparing to get married, and your lovely wife is with us in the studio today.
Still staring at that TV in the desk. She's like, oh, this is wonderful. We have like a 65-inch TV at home. We need one of these. I could write on the side.
Just a little tiny monitor.
Just a little tiny.
But it's kind of cool, because it is built right into the desk.
What she doesn't understand is it's just a TV turned sideways that's just this big of a monitor.
You've got it all right now, don't you? I mean, don't you think, a kid who grew up here, Waukesha, and went to UWM, you got to be on top of the world right now.
I'm pretty happy. The toughest, but the most difficult part is every Sunday, seeing, because I don't see those things till they're done. I don't know. I shoot them. I don't see any of it until they air, because I don't cut them. I don't have anything to do with that. I really just acted them, and I have a piece of the writing, which I can get overruled, or I can be part of it. I'm a part of it, but there's a writer, a producer, a bunch of people who also work on it. But it's scary every Sunday. I don't know what it looks like until it's on there, and then to see the reaction of the guys, You know, I think they're pretty true. Like when Terry was laughing pretty hard at the Jim Rome thing, that was real. And I had a guy, there was an article somebody wrote about me, it was like, and said Bradshaw was forcing it. I found out he came into the control room afterward and was still talking about it later. Yeah. It's just, but then, you know, it's funny because guys with columns will write, will write I don't know, there's somebody like, there's like a garbage man over here. So, do you hear that? I'm sure the TV
It's our camera, it's a finely oiled machine.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
They're robots.
Yeah, it's not like HAL 2000 though. It's like 1947, you know, fake robot from Futureland. What did I say there? I don't know. I don't know what I said. But
you're doing a good job. For the engineers who are rooting you on, though. They're saying keep lobbying for new equipment, Frank. Keep lobbying for new equipment.
Well, I should have known when there was like granite being pounded into with a chisel to get the pictures on the screen. There was a little, where am I going with this? I don't know, but I'm trying to conjure up images of the Flintstones with a bird flying. They didn't have birds. They had prehistoric bird-like creatures. Man, this show was going well until now. The real Frank Caliendo can't get a word out when he's not prepared, huh?
In the business, they call that a big finish.
Yeah, I call it edited out.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You gonna be on Leno soon?
They wanted me to do stand-up.
I always laugh. Your Leno kills me,
Well,
and
you know, it's awesome.
and yet I haven't seen you on there yet, and that sort of.
It's one of those things where I want to do. I don't really want to do stand-up, and they've asked me a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Give us a stand-up set, we'll put you on. It's kind of like, well, you know what? I've done stand-up on TV. It's not really what I want to do. I want to sit on the couch. And I heard that Kevin Pollak one time, an impressionist,
right.
wanted to wait for Carson to sit on the couch, and he eventually got that opportunity. I'll wait forever. I don't. You'll probably see me doing stand-up soon. I mean, here's a guy who sells out quickly.
Good to see you again.
Thank you for having me.